Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry about that. Yeah, the camera was facing the wrong direction. Yes, good morning, people. Good morning. I hope you guys could hear me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey. I'm using my mic right now, and I hope you guys could hear me. Yes, make sure that it's plugged in all the way. Yep. Yes, today is Tuesday, January 10, 2023. And it's after 5 a.m. I think it's close to 5:30. Anyway, how you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Today's video, um, it's a little concerning for me um, about censoring one's comments on YouTube. And it's not the first time. I did a video about that. Was that last month, I think? And yes, I watch. Yeah, I'm going to talk about. Um, I was watching a video, and I wrote a comment. And last night when I went to bed, I like to review something like my get messages, whatever, and what's popped on the screen when I turn on my device. You see who try to, who sent a message. So I saw that there was a message, and to my surprise, one of the videos I was watching yesterday, my comment was, well, at least it's not there anymore. And instead, what it looks like, well, I see that someone, like, my comment was removed. Well, I did actually three comments, but it was the first one that was removed. And the remaining two comments are up there. And so for the thumbnail for this live stream, you will see that I had two comments that are there. And then someone, it looked like they said that they pinned a message. Yes, good morning out there. Good morning, viewer. Let me know if you can hear me. I have my mic on. And so, yes, I was told that my voice is getting kind of soft. But I put on the mic, and I'm hoping that this mic is working properly. So please let me know. You could just say a one for yes that the audio is working well. If it's too faint, then I will have to speak up louder, with even with the mic by my mouth. So yes, see, I like to be upfront. I like YouTube because I get to see a variety, and it also allows me to interact with people. These days, it's hard to really meet up with people sometimes because society is changing. We're becoming so computerized, and even our relationships, a lot of it is online. We're still human beings, and we still need to communicate the way we can. So for me, I do like YouTube. Oh, great, great. Yeah, hey, Jessica. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for responding. Thank you. So, I'm really concerned about comments being pulled down. I mean, we're hearing all, the past few years, media, large media outlets were censoring people. And to be censored by our fellow YouTubers. Now, I believe when, in the comment sections, or if you're doing a live stream in the chat room, be respectful. Do not use profanity, cursing, um, pejoratives, and the like. But if you have a concern, state specifically your concern. And if you have something good to say something good. Not everybody is going to uh, believe, agree with other people. And that's okay in any relationship. Uh, you're not always going to agree. And even in my videos, I have some videos that elicit responses. Like the video I did about Puerto Rico. That one gets a lot of flack, especially when when I first uploaded the video a couple of years back. I think I might have uploaded it in 2017, and I allowed people. Some people said very harsh things, very mean-spirited, but they're entitled to their opinion. But I responded in a positive way. Yeah, 2 years ago, I was in your kitchen when you were cooking for your. Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, yeah, a couple of years ago, I uploaded that one, and a lot of individuals wrote comments that were extremely hostile. I understood where they were coming from, and um, I still get comments on it. And so I, I, I learned, and what I practice here, in fact, the more violent or hostile the comment, um, to respond in a caring way. Or sometimes I just say, peace be on to you, and just leave it as such. Um, but yeah, generally I just respond in a gentle voice, writing voice. And sometimes they come around and say, I apologize. They might even apologize for the things that they say. So I know that but I'm actually addressing people like that to, that, hey, it's okay to be X, Y, and Z. It's okay. And so that's how I handle it, rather than being hostile back, say something soft spoken. And most of the time, they turn around. So this YouTuber that I've been watching, many of you know that in October I was supposed to move overseas to Africa. Yes, I was going to. Um, I was going to move to the country of Rwanda. That's right next to Tanzania, in central, central eastern Africa, and it fell through my plans. And so, I do listen to many YouTubers, about four YouTubers, specifically on the subject of relocating, moving abroad. And I take it seriously. And I shared my experiences on my desire to move abroad and certain pitfalls that were happening. I feel each one teach one. See, not everything is glamorous. Not every, you're dealing with people's lives. You're dealing with a lot of money. Now, I almost lost several thousand just for me to relocate my dogs. I have three little dogs. For me to relocate them, I needed to get what they call a cargo plane, and it was to cost me over $4,000 just to relocate my dogs. not even myself, not even buying my ticket, my luggage, and all that. Um, so I think it's important to, when you're dealing with the black community, many of us aren't, travelers. Money is tight. Money is tight for most of us. Money is tight for me. And so I made sure I shared certain, important information. Hey, if you want to move, certain things, money, you cannot move without your money. So I listen to different YouTubers who promote moving to Africa or just moving in general outside of the U.S. And so this one YouTuber, um, I respect most of his work. Yeah. Yeah, I respect most of this individual's work. He does have edge to him, but he's a mature guy. Um, I know his heart is in the right place, but I may not agree with everything he says. But in general, I watch his work, and if I don't uh, like something, I can always change the video, whatever. But this one particular video, and on the thumbnail of this live stream, you'll see the comments that I made, two of the remaining comments that I had written on responding to this individual's video. And the YouTuber's channel name is, how'd it go now? Black to Africa. And so you see that on the very top. Well, that particular video that he did was about his trip to Accra, which is in Ghana. Ghana right now is very popular amongst YouTubers to discuss. And in 2019, there was a repatriation movement. The government of Ghana was allowing um, blacks of the diaspora to move to Ghana. So this YouTuber was in Ghana, and he's showcasing the country. He was at the beach, and he's doing I think it was a live stream. Yes, he was doing a live stream on YouTube at the beach in Accra, Ghana. Accra is a city in Ghana. And he's a friendly guy. He's very tall, and he has his camera. And it's being filmed live. He's walking and um, engaging in conversation with some of the people. Now, he tried to approach some women, but the women did not want to be on camera. And there was a comment made. Some of the, when you're doing a live stream, the chat room, um, what was said was, well, maybe these women, they're at where they're not supposed to be. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And then he repeated it, the YouTuber. And it sounded like he had like he sounds a little irritated, the YouTuber who's doing the live stream. And again, I respect much of the bulk of his work now. Um, but it was like how it sounded to me, in my opinion, what it sounded like was that like uh, a little contemptuous, like he was upset that they didn't want to come on the camera, and why wouldn't they want to come on? It sounds something like that. And again, you could look at the video yourself, because on the thumbnail that I did, I took a snapshot of the thumbnail. I mean, to make the thumbnail of the thing in question, the video in question. So you see on the very top the full name of the video, and so you can just look on YouTube the video in question. I mean, overall, it's a good video, but it just seemed like it was preoccupied uh, to get women on this camera. So when the response, his tone of voice and the response of some of the people in the chat room, um, it sounded like they were implying that the women were doing something illicit, like I mean like let me explain myself when I say that. Like they're at the beach and they don't want to be on camera because maybe uh, they weren't supposed to be there. So something attached to it, something negative. That's what I mean. So I didn't like that, and so I responded. I said, um, and again, I did not use profanity, any pejoratives, but I explained how I felt. I said something to the wording of that you're a tall, foreign guy with a camera, and you're walking and approaching someone you don't know, a woman, and you expect them to want to be on camera. I said that maybe some of these women might be Muslim, and for them to want to be on camera, maybe that their beliefs doesn't permit them to be on camera. I said, when you go abroad, a lot of women are conservative. Women in general are conservative, and if you had a daughter, would you want your daughter to go on camera because some guy approached them and said, "Hey, sister, hey, sister." Some people are shy. And that I felt that the comment was implying that the women in question were doing something illicit. And I thought that was disrespectful. And that's what I said. And then I continued watching the video, and then I saw that there was something good that he said that I agreed with, and I shared that. I shared a total of 3 comments. And the 2 remaining comments are what you see in the thumbnail of this live stream. So, so uh, early this morning or late last night, when I turned on my device, I saw that someone uh, pinned what they call pinned a response, pinned a message, and it was a little weird. It had these question marks. Well, what you see there on the thumbnail, there was a question mark, and for me to call them. Now, the what you call the avatar of the your channel name and the avatar that's made from your YouTube channel, it was identical to the channel that I wrote the comment to. But I don't know whether the person who pinned the response um, attached to one of my comments that was remained, excuse me, I do not know whether it's the same person. I do not know. So I did respond to his message. I indicate, well, I do not have uh, I cannot do texting because I don't have a cell phone to text you back. But do you have like messaging? And if so, what is your the name on it to talk to you? And also, what who are you? I just want to make sure who you are. I mean, what is your name? I just want to make sure who you are. Something like that, I said. And again, it's on the thumbnail of this live stream. And you can see it for yourself. What I, my response. Um, so I haven't heard anything yet from whoever who pinned it. You have to be very careful. Sometimes people might, people could take other people's thumbnails and pretend to be someone, you know. So I don't know because the name is a little different than his channel name. But either way, what is concerning is that the comment in question is removed. And I'm surprised that it was removed from someone like um, this YouTuber. This is a mature man. It's not like he's some kid or something. He's an adult man. I think he's married, and I think he has children. I respect his work overall. And if he was concerned about my comment, he could have just respectfully respond and said, or, my apology if I came across that I wasn't trying to demean the women or imply that something illicit that they were hiding from, whatever. Something like that would have been a very mature response. And so I'm finding that, see, I take the going back to Africa movement seriously because many of you know that I attempted to relocate there this past October in 2022, but my plans fell through. And it's important because, see, I was fortunate to catch the error that almost happened just before I was to pay for my dog's flight. I would have lost over $4,000. I did a lot of preparation, I thought, to make this happen. And when information is being, could be withheld, it doesn't benefit any of us. I question the people who are promoting to move abroad because of my experiences with my last year of my interest in moving abroad. Some things that were not discussed in these videos that could have been an expensive lesson to learn. And each one teach one. When something happens, rather than just hiding it and pretending everything's okay, I believe, hey, let them know. Hey, this happened to me. I I have traveled, not as extensively, believe that. I mean, I'm not like a world traveler. I have been in the military, yes. And yes, through there, I was able to travel. And even before I went into the military, I did travel once before. And I've been, when I was in the military, I was in the country of Egypt. And I also lived in the Caribbean. I also lived in the island of Hawaii, which is a part of the US. So um, I lived it. I lived the part of moving outside of the US mainland. And some of the challenges that I incurred, I shared in it in some of my videos. I share. It's not easy. And you might go to a place where it's a what they call people of color, doesn't mean that they're going to like you. It doesn't, not everybody likes Americans. And so going to Africa, now I never lived in Africa. Yes, in the military, I was in Africa, in Egypt specifically, where I was. But what they call Sub-Sahara Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, no, I've never been there. And you're going to have people promoting to go to a place and be surprised when a woman in Africa doesn't want to be on camera. So I just thought that was odd. He's a grown man. It's not like he's some teenager or someone in their 20s. This is a grown man. And he's walking on the beach doing a live stream. And so, I mean, uh, would you, ladies, let's say somebody, you are at a beach in the United States, and someone who's foreign has a foreign accent, has a camera that's filming live, and they just walk up to and he say, "Hey, sister, would you go on camera if you did not know who he was? Would you, ladies? Would you want your children? Let's say you had teenage girls. Would you want them to be and walk up to someone that they did not know who was doing live? What are they going to do the live stream? I mean, uh, wh- who's on the other end of that camera, right? You want to be careful. Some countries are very conservative. The Caribbean, when I lived in the Caribbean, it was very conservative. Very. And I think if he had a camera even in the U.S. Virgin Islands where I used to live, I think he would have the same results. Women overseas are, in general, very conservative, and they are usually conservative in dress in comparison to some places in the U.S. mainland. So you're going to go to an African country and you're not from there, you don't speak the local language, you have a camera, you're really big, and you're walking around, and women aren't going to really respond to that. Um, People are busy. The people that did approach him, that responded to his request, were men. Now, there was one woman, a grown woman, that did come on, and she let him know right away that she was married and she had an adult son, and that she knew him from his videos. So she explained, who he was. She knew who he was. So she didn't feel threatened when he came over. So, we have to be careful um, about what we do overseas. And it's not enough for someone to call you a sister or brother, you know, because anybody could be anything. And with Africa having a very long history of being kidnapped, remember Africa, a lot of people in Africa were kidnapped and sold into slavery. And I also said in a comment that human trafficking is still a reality in Africa. Women are being human trafficked. It's a reality. So I'm just staggered at this adult man. Again, I much of his videos are fine. And if he's going to be offended because I shared that with him, I start to question who he really is, what he's really about. I'm just completely shocked. Would you want someone to approach your daughters and they didn't know who he was, and he got a camera and is doing a live stream? Would you encourage that? Would you? I would encourage that. But again, if you know the person, know of them, I saw a YouTuber uh, over the summer. It could have been in September, August or September of last year, 2022. I recognized him immediately. And he was just about to do a live stream. I said, hey, is that you so and so? And I got on his live stream. He talked to me for maybe 3 minutes live, and then I left. But I would not approach someone if I did not know of them, right? You never know what people are filming, how it's going to be used, right? So I think I thought what I shared was something that was to protect the general population in overall, especially women. Women are more vulnerable than men in general. Yes, men should be careful too. But in general, to be approached by someone you don't know and they have a camera going on, you don't know how they're going to use it. You just don't know. And again, um, women in general, outside, in these other countries, are are very shy. Would he have done the same thing, let's say, in an Arab place? Let's say go to Saudi Arabia or Morocco. Is he going to have that? It's like we're real careful about when in certain countries, but then when it's uh, a non Arab speaking place in Africa, it's like free for all. It's like, oh, well, it's okay because we both got black skin, but who cares? Skin color is not enough. It's not enough. So what? Who were the people that kidnapped the black people in the day? It was their own. It was another tribe. It was prisoners of war, and then they sold them to Europeans. Usually, people who can hurt you are people from your own, period. And not just to come by because someone calls you a sister or a brother. Look here in the United States. Who is killing who overall in the black community? Our own. So you're just going to come over to someone because they call you a brother or sister? By their fruits, you know. By their fruit, you will know. And when you cannot share or speak truth, and again, not to be obnoxious to anyone's channel, but I have experiences. I just had experience with October when I was going to leave overseas. I've been in Africa. I've been in the Caribbean, lived there, worked there, um, went to church there. I lived like the locals. When I was in Hawaii, I lived, worked, and was just like the local population there. I lived just like the local population, no different. And I feel that that is experience that you could share. Why someone may not want to be on camera. People are shy. Women are shy overseas in general. They don't want to be on camera. And that is wisdom. It's wisdom. So why be offended? He seemed offended. And look, he was offended by my comment. I'm not trying to beat him up. I'm sharing through a female perspective. A female perspective who's been overseas, who's lived, worked, went to church, everything overseas. And through a female's perception, why they may not want to be on camera, because it's something culturally you don't do. It's something you just don't do. Yeah, I'm just really surprised. And I feel a little, I'm upset. I'm upset that where YouTube is going, I mean, I shouldn't say YouTube itself, but the people who come on YouTube who's representing uh, black people, black America, or suggesting black America do X, Y, and Z without, you know, if you're going to squash my comment, why? Because they're teaching a narrative. This is what I'm getting at. That some, I'm not saying that he specifically, but sometimes I feel with some YouTubers that there is a narrative that they want us to just jump for. We hear it and they just want us to jump at it. I'm a little older than a lot of the YouTubers that comment on these videos, I believe. I believe I'm usually one of the older ones. And I'm older than the guy who does the videos. And so I'm not going to just be as ready to just do whatever was suggested because I have my experiences being in the military, living overseas, off the U.S. Mainland. And if they want to cancel my comment about maybe the women don't want to be on camera, it might be their religion. They might be Muslim. They're conservative. That you are a stranger. And for them to just come over because someone's a black person, hey, a sister, a brother, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair to kind of slam these women. And I thought it was disrespectful. Well, that's enough to get your comment pulled somehow, whether, again, um, I don't know whether it's the owner of the channel that pulled it or you, who pulled it. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't say anything, any bad words, any pejoratives to defend women's honor. Defend women's honor. Stop slandering or kind of trashing women. And it's not the first time that something like this happened. Another YouTuber, a couple of years back. Now, this other YouTuber, um, I found it by chance, the channels. I interviewed someone once on my channel, and the person that was watching my video commented and said, hey, so and so referred me to your channel. So I looked up that other person. So, wow, someone knew about that video. Hey, let me check to see who that person was. And the person did a snippet of my video. And to me, he came across very sexist, in my opinion, towards me. I felt it's how you left feeling when someone talks to you. He was talking pertaining to me in his video, and he had my face on the screen, and I didn't now not not that I'm ashamed of my age. This was 5 years ago, and but I feel like why with everybody, because he comments on multiple videos, on his channel, and none of the other people he commented about their age, and so I felt like why is he singling me out? It just came across how he came across kind of sexist. I felt, and so I responded to his video. I said, thank you very much for recommending my channel and to watch the video. Uh, but I felt kind of, funny about, I'm not ashamed of my age, but, I forget exactly what I said. And that was it. And then I gave two other comments, like when you're doing comments, you could like you do the comment and you press the button so it could register. And then I did it two more times to put in two more comments, separate comments. So the same thing, like, but as I'm doing the third comment, which was actually, to compliment, certain things, all of a sudden my comment, my first comment disappeared. I said, what happened? That quickly. That quickly, it was removed. It's like some of the YouTubers, they want to say anything about individuals, and when you respond in a respectful way, it was pulled that quickly. That quickly. I thought maybe I made a mistake, but I said, well, how could it that the other two comments were able to stay, but not this one? It seems like the more bullyish the YouTuber is, the ego, it's like their ego, the ego. And you cannot have a different opinion. So they want it all one sided. And so everybody's going to think, wow, everybody loves so and so. And it's not the case. Sometimes people, it's called censoring. And so they're creating a reality on some media platforms that someone is more popular or more this or that. And actually, it's so crafted and highly edited. Yeah, go on my video that I did with Puerto Rico, and you're going to see a lot of stuff, horrible things, and you're going to see how I responded. I did not respond in a hostile way. Usually, when you respond, calmly, they chill out, or they don't, or they stop commenting entirely. Yeah, go there. Yeah, I said, freedom of speech, but one thing, do not use profanity. Uh, Comments that I do delete, those sex comments. Like there's someone, it could be what you call a bot. I think they call them bots. It could be like think of it like a virus thing. It's done by the computer. They put these strange codes. I don't know what it is, and these sex and other gobbledygook, weird things. I didn't know what it was. So one time I clicked on what is this thing, and it was a sex stuff. It had naked people, women. And then I commented on, I said, I said, I already know what a woman's body looked like. I could look at my own. You don't need to send me uh, this link. Please do not send it again. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, sometimes that happens. They get these aggressions and they put these, I think it's the same person. And so when I see it now, I just delete it because I don't want anybody to be referred to some sex link. That is nasty. That stuff is highly addictive. It's like drugs. It's filth. And little children could uh, click on it, right? And they could get harmed. So only those I will delete. But anything else, okay? And I would tell her, hey, be respectful, no cursing. I give you a warning. And that's how I've managed my YouTube channel. But for someone who doesn't, like whatever, or, whatever, or if they say I'm cooning, whatever, that's okay. They could say that. And I'd explain it's a learning opportunity for all of us. If I make a mistake, hey, so maybe someone needs to correct me, and that's okay. This is a what I call my spiritual journey, and this is a process for all of us. All of us are on our journeys. Some of it is rough, some of it is a little smoother, but all of us are affected in some way. And right now we have what they call social media. We can come on, view someone's work. If you don't like it, people could just, change the channel. If you feel it necessary to address an issue with a video, then that's fine. But now it's like some of us who are getting popular, especially in the Back to Africa movement, again, I tried to go just a couple of months ago. And some of the things that I was not aware of. And I'm still searching and say, hey, what could I do next? I think things are going to hit really hard in America very soon. I feel it. New York, I live here in New York City. New York City is crazy. Especially with regard to black people. I'm a black woman. And um, the social climate for us is going down the drain. I feel like I'm being pushed out of my own country. This is how I feel. And so I said, why stay here? I want to move. I would love to go to a black country. I really would. I'm tired of the race game here. But I know that um, just because a place might be black doesn't mean that they're going to love you. And that, unfortunately, was my experience in the West Indies and in Hawaii. My experience with people of color when you're overseas, that when it comes to getting jobs, when you go into an employer, that's when you see the true colors of people. I mean, one thing you have in your own business, but even if you have your own business, if someone next to you, your business feels threatened, you are going to experience bigotry and hatred. And I think it's unrealistic to share in some of these videos, to go back to Africa movement, that it may not be realistic for some of us. Some things may not be the best for us. Some things might be better if you go to Europe, or maybe Latin America, or maybe Canada. Because not everybody who's kinfolk is kinfolk. Yeah, I didn't make that up either. Someone shared that with me, and I said, you know that? I like that. I like that, yeah. So I'm going to share with others because it could help somebody. It can help someone when I say, hey, when you want to move overseas, have more than one debit card from different banks. But you know what they don't say on those channels? That some financial institutions, when you go overseas, when you change your address from American address to a foreign address, they no longer could service you. You need the bank needs a special licensing to handle international customers. Even if you're an American citizen, but once you move overseas, they cannot handle you. And they would have to cancel your account. How many of them tell you that? They make it sound real easy. And when I go to check out their suggestions, um, if I often find out that it's not true. You better verify some of the things what they say. I start to wonder. You have people who I'm almost old enough to be their grandmother. They're like in their 20s, and they got a toddler, and they're going overseas to Africa. How in the world are they affording that? How are they able to go overseas and have their money come with them? Or let's say they don't, um, they cancel their bank accounts in the mainland and just, bring the money with them. But you got to make money. You have to make money when you go over there. When you, let's say you get, let's say use your debit card and you go in the ATM. Did you know that ATM could charge you 4 different times? The different fees, the fee of the ATM, the fee of the bank to convert dollars into their money, um, the fee of your bank at home, and then the fee that for the currency change. So it's about 4 times. So think of that as taxes. And you got some young girl with a toddler, use the ATM. How, you're going to run out of money, people. You're going to run out of money fast. But they make it seem like, oh, you just do this and that. I don't know. I'm 60 years old now. And like to feel that I'm doing my homework and doing things to investigate how to do this move if I do decide to do it. It costs money. It costs money. And in some places, it's cash oriented. They don't use cards or debit cards, cash only. Well, if you have you have to convert your dollars into cash, into their money, into their currency. That costs money to do that. How in the world? And then a lot of times in Africa, you have to pay up front your rent. Let's say you get a year lease, you have to pay a year up front. So this is a lot of money. And they're not really discussing those issues. They're not really discussing how you're going to how are you going to get access to your money? Because again, what's being said, oh, you just, oh, you could use this, what do you call it, TransferWise. Well, you use TransferWise, you're going to get fees. You run out of money. And some places they suggest don't use what do you call it, a secondary mediator. So don't give out your what do you call your router number, any account number with these um, mediaries because they could be hacked, and you're overseas. A lot of places. My bank. You go overseas, they cannot call you. They only text American numbers. Did they say that? Are they saying that? All these things are very, very important. But they're making it look like a paradise that is just, hey, I just want to win. Go. Yeah, you do that, and you'll be flat back in the U.S. There's a price to pay. It could be a pricey one. Is it really that inexpensive? They say that it's less expensive, but is it? With all the fees that you're going to encounter in getting access to, if you're lucky enough to get access to your money, right? You need access to your money. So, in recapping everything that I'm concerned about, where some of us on YouTube um, and what they're promoting, and if you're not able to share valid and well thought out information to share someone's content, especially when it's regarding having black people move overseas and someone doing something, not being socially aware on how it might look to the women where you go to. And that you have to be very respectful to these women overseas. They're shy. They don't want to be on camera. And just because they don't want to be on camera doesn't mean that they are illicit, doing illicit stuff, or a B, the letter B. They might just be shy. Many women overseas, whether the West Indies or the African mainland, they're kind of shy. Women in general are shy with a big guy with a camera. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think, guys and gals think, okay? Um, yeah, so yeah, I would like your comments. Um, and yeah, the thumbnail of this live stream, you will see the name of the YouTuber, the channel, and the video that I was watching on. You know, I think it was unfair for whoever who pulled my comment down, and then someone left again, I don't know whether it's the same person, but someone maybe impersonating him using the same avatar and something that looks like his channel name, but is slightly different. Okay, and what looks like a phone number. Okay, it might be just someone hacking or whatever. Whatever had happened, my comment was removed, and the remaining two comments, some YouTuber pinned what they call pinned a response for me to call them. Okay, so that's all that I want to share. Uh, yeah, let me know what you think if you're able to look at the video in question that I um, am referring to, and what you think when he mentions about why the women aren't talking to him. There's I forget the spot in the video, but I think it was more towards the middle. Yeah, it was before when he actually did get a female uh, in the video, but she knew who he was, and she was an older woman who's married, and made sure to tell him that she was married and she has an adult son. Okay, so that was it. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you like this live stream. Um, yes, ladies, whether you're overseas in Africa or in the Americas or anywhere where you choose to live, be careful what you do and demand respect when respect is given. Thank you again, people. Peace, love, and joy to you all. Bye bye. Oh, the shut off.